Did you go to a cabin with Miss Willis ever?
Ever?
Ever.
This judge is going to have to make some tough decisions.
There's attorneys, Mr. Wade and Ms. Willis will have to respond to this new data here.
Damn!
Records were to reflect that you were making phone calls from the same location as the condo.
Georgia, Fulton County DA Fani Willis facing disqualification from former President Trump's election interference case. As new court filings claim, she tried to keep her relationship with the special prosecutor Nathan Wade a secret. Todd Pyro.
They're coming after us. You don't need to talk to them about anything about us. Now, the new court filings reveal a Cobb County, Georgia prosecutor named Cindy Lee Yeager overheard the conversation between Willis and Bradley. And while Wade and Willis have both testified that their affair happened between 2022 and 2023, this new filing claims Bradley told Yeager the romance began all the way back in 2019.
Willis and Nathan Wade were in a romantic relationship, correct?
Correct.
And it began at the time that they were both municipal court judges, correct?
Objection, Your Honor, based on privilege. That's covered in the attorney-client privilege.
Okay, overruled. I do not have knowledge of it starting or when it started.
Terrence, you told me that it started when they were both municipal court judges, though, correct?
That is incorrect.
Damn!
How'd you learn about this relationship between Mr. Wade? I think this has been acknowledged now by both parties, correct?
It has, yes.
It's a dispute as to when it began, but it's acknowledged that they had I don't know if they still do, but at least had a romantic relationship.
Yes, that's
How'd
enough.
you figure that out? How'd you find out?
So at first, I knew Mr. Wade and I knew Miss Willis, and a lot of people in the community were a little surprised to see Nathan, Mr. Wade handling this case. It was just, a lot of people said that, and so a lot of people were talking about that, and it was kind of surprising because it's not really, you know, he does a lot of law practice, but this isn't what you would imagine him doing.
Did you ever see him have other billings? I mean, how do you have time to represent anybody else when he's billing, 24 hours a day to Fulton County?
He has he had other people working for him. Like, he had a law student working for him for a while, and then he had a first-year associate. So I'm assuming that they would probably do whatever other work he had.
Did you ever look at his calendar? Did you have access to that to see if it matched up?
No, I didn't have access to his calendar, and I didn't have access to their like text messages. I mean, I was able to get get his geolocation data through subpoena, but the one thing that really struck me is if I was accused of something and I was saying I didn't do it, I would download my phone. They have a system. It's called Celebrate, and Fulton County pays for it. City of Atlanta pays for it. It's literally a system that you can hook your phone into. I have an investigator that has it, and I have my clients do it all the time. You hook your phone up, and it can find deleted text. It can find everything, and you can limit it. You can say, I only want text with this person. So if I was being accused of having an affair with someone, and I said it didn't start until April, and someone else said it started in October, the easiest thing to do is to, download that phone. And for privacy concerns, you can file it under seal, but you could easily narrow it down and say, I want this timeline. I want all of our texts from, November 2021, and it would easily tell whether or not they were romantic in nature.
Before I leave,
Willis's campaign to become DA. Yeager watched Bradley's testimony last week when he claimed to have no knowledge of when Willis and Wade started dating. And according to this filing, she, quote, became concerned as a result of the fact that what Mr. Bradley testified to on the witness stand was directly contrary to what Mr. Bradley had told Ms. Yeager in person. Now, Willis could be disqualified from former President Trump's election interference case in Georgia if the judge finds a conflict of interest.
As Your Honor already knew from when you were a prosecutor, prosecutors are held to a higher standard. They're the ones that are supposed to be seeking justice. They don't have a particular, they're supposed to be disinterested. When you have the lead prosecutor and the DA giving what I suggest to you is untruthful testimony based on what Yerty has said, based on what Bradley said in his text, based on the whole way it was presented to you. Bradley didn't want to testify. He first came up with his attorney-client privilege thing on that. And Your Honor fortunately went into that. And then when Bradley knew he had to testify about it, you saw what happened. You can draw the inference, as I've suggested on Bradley, that what he said in the text message, Defense Exhibit 26, is true. The relationship, in fact, started prior to November 1st of 2021. That ERT says that. And now, without getting into any detail, the cell phone records. The cell phone records show that during that period of time from, let's say, April 1 of 2021 to November 30th of 2021, that there was a considerable number of 35 or more occasions where it appeared that, based on the records, that Mr. Wade was down in the area where Ms. Willis was staying in ERT's apartment. But more important is there are two occasions, and the state has not challenged those. There are two occasions where the records reflect that it appears Mr. Wade spent the night at that apartment. The state may say, we don't accept that, but they didn't challenge it. And even when they brought forth what they brought forth today, Supplemental 2 and 3, they didn't challenge it again. So what does that suggest? That's corroborating evidence of what Yerte had said, of what Bradley said in his text message. It's also impeachment evidence as to what Wade and Willis said about how many times.
No, this is the truth, Judge. And it is a lie. It is a lie. I don't need anybody to foot my bills. The only man who's ever foot my bills completely is my daddy.
Oh, damn.